Hey, what's up everyone? Lex here, and we are just a few days away from the Nintendo Switch, and I'm going to have coverage on that, an unboxing, my impressions, and I'm going to take a trip with it just to see how it actually holds up. But we're also just days away from GDC 2017, and the reason I bring that up is because Spike Chunsoft has teased a brand new Fire Pro Wrestling game. So if you're not familiar with Fire Pro Wrestling, it's a long line of wrestling games from Japan that are basically really well regarded in terms of their customization, their the logic of the wrestlers themselves. You can actually tweak the logic to make them do kind of in a roundabout way what you want them to do. So if you want them to dive off the top rope when the opponent is down, 70% of the time, you can do that. You can program the wrestler to do that. The first Fire Pro Wrestling that we got in North America was Fire Pro Wrestling for the Game Boy Advance, and then we got a follow-up to that with Fire Pro Wrestling 2 for the Game Boy Advance. And then we got, in 2007, Fire Pro Wrestling Returns, which was released in 2005 in Japan, and that's the footage that you're seeing right here. That was the last traditional Fire Pro Wrestling game that we got. Now, there was the Avatar Fire Pro Wrestling on the Xbox 360, which I have not seen one Fire Pro Wrestling fan who speaks kindly to that game, just because it was such a big departure from what Fire Pro Wrestling actually is. It's like someone made a completely different game and just slapped the name Fire Pro Wrestling on it. With this upcoming game that they're teasing, we all hope that this is going to be a traditional Fire Pro game, and we do have reason to believe it will be, as Spike Chunsoft has said in the past that they understand they made that mistake with the Avatar Fire Pro Wrestling. So what kind of teaser did we get? Well, it's a very short 11-second video, I believe, of a real-life recreation of the Fire Pro Wrestling gameplay engine. So to anyone that's not familiar with Fire Pro Wrestling, it probably looks really, really weird, and that's completely understandable. But if you have never played Fire Pro Wrestling before and you are a wrestling fan, check it out. I don't even really play Fire Pro Wrestling as much as I just do simulate matches between the computer, because the matches play out so well, and it's really fun to watch, and you can make your own rings and logos and titles and stuff like that. And we hope that with this new Fire Pro Wrestling, we get even bigger and even better edit features. Now, as far as platform goes, we have no idea what it's going to be on. And we don't even know if this game is actually coming out, to be honest with you. This is a very vague teaser. There is a Twitter account that is titled SC_Pro Wrestling, which is Spike Chunsoft. This is the Twitter account that posted the video. The account was retweeted by the official Spike Chunsoft account, and the video itself is on the official YouTube page of Spike Chunsoft, so it looks like this is indeed a legit thing, and hopefully not a hoax. But if we're going to speculate about systems, more than likely the PS4 is the target system, possibly a port to Vita, PC. There has been some talk about the Nintendo Switch and it being on the Nintendo Switch. I personally highly doubt that, just because Fire Pro Wrestling is a pretty niche game as it is, and putting it on a console that doesn't even have 3-4 million units out yet seems a little odd, but I'm not completely ruling it out, because maybe the folks at Nintendo and Spike Chunsoft made a deal where they're like, okay, let's do, can you do an exclusive for us? Yeah, we'll do Fire Pro Wrestling. That could be a possibility, but I don't see it happening. So probably PS4. I would say PC would be a high probability too. But that's just my own speculation. We really don't know. The Twitter account that is SC_Pro Wrestling says that in the name, where the place where you put your name, it says March 2nd in San Francisco, which is GDC. It's the second to last day of GDC, and if you don't know GDC, it's the Game Developers Conference. I actually went to GDC back in 2016, so last year, and it's a pretty cool thing, but it's very insider. It's for the people in the industry, They have a show floor. They allow cameras in there as far as places like IGN and stuff like that. So games will be covered. It's not as big as E3 or anything like that, but perhaps we could get some more information at GDC, or perhaps not. This might not even be talking about GDC. We don't know for sure because it's so vague. Anyway, I hope that next week I can bring more info to you about Fire Pro Wrestling, about a new Fire Pro Wrestling game from Spike Chunsoft. I plan on doing a big retrospective of the Fire Pro Wrestling series, but I want to get all the games imported from Japan first before I do that, which may take a while. In the meantime, I might do a review on some of the Fire Pro Wrestling games that I do have, just to kind of get you guys familiar with the series, because it is an incredible series if you're a wrestling fan. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, the game is very unique and definitely should be something that everyone checks out. Thanks for watching this video. Like the vid to share it around. Subscribe to the page for more. Switch next week, folks. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are too, because I can't wait to actually get my hands on it and tell you guys all about it. Thanks for watching. See you later.